Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me for another video. We recently hit 40 subscribers and I am so excited to hit 40 subscribers. Thank you so much. 40 is not a big number at all to a lot of people, but it is to me. That's 40 people that are joining me on this fun journey that is my YouTube channel. Remember on all my videos to like them, comment if you ever have like an opinion, if you ever have, like, I'm open to everything. Today, I'm gonna do a makeup routine. I recently went to the wedding in Georgia, and that was the past 2 videos to my Georgia vlogs. And I got a lot of compliments on my makeup, and then I was helping other people with theirs, so I figured I would show you how I do my makeup. After this, so if you work with me and you're watching this, now you know why I showed up with a full glam. I am not, let me preface this, I am not a makeup artist. These are just things I've learned throughout growing up and like watching YouTube and other makeup tutorials. Things I find work with my skin tone. I'm going to be showing you like drugstore products that I know and love, and then high-end makeup products that I know and love. I don't buy high-end products if to me they're not worth the money, so I'm gonna just show you what I think are my tried and trues. First thing is skincare. I definitely prep to my face beforehand, and that's why it kind of looks a little dewy. I think a little dewy and red. So I always use the Clinique clarifying lotion. It says lotion, it literally just looks like water, and you put it on a cotton pad and then you kind of just wipe it around your face. That gets off like dead skin, dirt that might be lingering after you washed your face, and it just helps make sure everything is like off your skin and good. If you have like any dead skin that was lingering, it'll take that off as well. I then used a toner. I'm currently using the watermelon toner, and I use that all over my face. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just for like evening your skin tone. Then I use vitamin D serum because I'm doing this in the morning. So in the morning with your skincare, you want to use vitamin D. I'm gonna be honest, I got this brand that I use from Marshall's to try. I like it. It seems to be really well and working with my skin, so I'm just going to keep using it. And then I just put on moisturizer. I don't like to put on too many products. So my moisturizer I'm currently using is the Trader Joe's Gel Hydrating. I'm saying that wrong, but it's the Trader Joe's moisturizer, and it's like a gel. I previously had the Clinique Moisture Surge, and I loved it. It was so good, and I'm obsessed with it, but it is more expensive, and I saw this dupe from Trader Joe's, so I figured I tried the real thing, let me try the dupe. And I like the dupe a lot. I think I do still like the Clinique one more, so I'm probably gonna get that again, but I also don't like wasting products, so I'm gonna wait till I'm done with the Trader Joe's bottle before I go back to the Clinique. Starting on the actual makeup, we have our beauty blender. Mine is well loved, and you're literally just gonna like wet it in the sink to make it damp. It's just like wetting a sponge, like putting it under the faucet, squeezing it a couple times, and then like squeezing it out for like excess water. Then what I like to do, a lot of these things is just what I like to do. It is not, a lot of people don't do these things. What I like to do as my primer that I find works for me, I don't like to put on like a thick primer or anything. I do have some, I don't know where they are now. I do have some primers that are really well, that like really stick to your face. I use setting spray most of the time as my primer, just because I find it doesn't add to the cakiness of my foundation, and my makeup does last throughout the day. So my current setting spray that I'm using right now is the Make It Last by Milani. This is a drugstore. I don't remember the prices for a lot of these things, but this is a drugstore setting spray. So I sprayed on my face, and then we're gonna let this dry. And that's literally how I prime. I go in with a concealer next. So I go in with a concealer that matches more of my skin tone first, to hide any like big dark spots, any acne spots, or spots that I'm like worried about to cover up. Like I have this little bump right there. I do this under my foundation because I find if I do this over my foundation, it just looks like I have a bunch of spots on my face and it doesn't blend how I like, so I put it under to make sure it's covered. And then I typically do this T-zone as well. And then with the angle side of our beauty blender, we're just gonna blend it out. By blending is you're literally just patting. You're not like circling or anything. You're just patting over it. Concealer I use for this is the Fit Me concealer. This is also a drugstore concealer, And then with my skin tone, I have the fair. It's 010. I'm very pale, so a lot of these are a little bit brighter. Next is foundation. I'm gonna show you a couple different foundations that I like. What I'm currently gonna use today is the MAC Studio Radiance. It's a serum powdered foundation. I really like this. I have NC10. I find it's just a little bit brighter. I have like a self tanner on right now, so this is one of my tanner shades. I wear this when I'm a little bit darker. Another one I absolutely love is the Fit Me Matte Poreless 12-hour foundation. This is a drugstore foundation. I find it really works for my skin. I have textured skin, so I get real picky with my foundations, and I really liked this one. So with our foundation, you want to shake your foundation first, no matter what brand it is, no matter what drugstore, nice or anything. You want to shake it a little bit. We want to make sure all the oils and pigments already mixed in. I put mine on the back of my hand so that I just do like a little bit at first. So that with the back of my beauty blender, I'm just gonna tap it around so I can have an even distribution of product on the beauty blender. And then we're just gonna tap it right into the skin. So a lot of foundations, you can make it go as long as you want or as short as you want. I kind of just have full coverage is what I like. But you can always like build it up, use less, and spread it out more. With your beauty blender being damp, you're allowed to like, you have the wiggle room to elongate it, make it, we don't want to dry one because then it's going to be harder to kind of spread that around. This is important with your foundation. So we have the headband behind our ears. Blend some of this foundation into your ears. That sounds crazy. Just do like that. It doesn't have to be crazy. We're not like coating them. We don't want our ears to be like a crazy color different than the rest of our face and our neck. And then we're also gonna blend the excess down our neck. We do the ears because you don't, especially if you have like a spray tan or something and your ears are a little bit lighter than the rest of your body. We don't want it to look weird and like you have white ears and the rest of your face is tan. I'm now getting my brighter concealer. This is a shade lighter than I am, or I think it's the light sand. This is the e.l.f. camo concealer. This is comparable with like the Tarte Better shade, and we're just gonna put it a little bit right here. We're not doing like full triangles. We're just putting a little bit right there. We want it brighter so we can brighten up our under eye. And then to elongate our face, we're gonna put a little from the corner out, just that much. We're not going crazy. And then I put the tip and bridge of my nose, and then with the small end we're just gonna tap it in. When I blend this like corner one, I typically go out and then down a little so that it has like right here. I wear glasses, so I'm gonna be paying extra attention to like the bridge of my nose and then kind of right here. And then we're just gonna carry out, so we're elongating everything. So that's with the concealer from before and after. And again, we're tapping everything. We don't want to like smear and rub things around. I typically just tap my eyes with the excess. I don't put like more on, but just the excess from the beauty blender. Next is contour. So we're done with our beauty blender. We're gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna show you a few different contour things that I like, some drugstore and some name brand. So with the contour, we're doing this with our foundation like still wet and everything before we put like powder on or anything. So because of that, because it goes under other products, we're gonna try to use like a more cool tone, not so heavy of a color, and we're gonna blend it out a lot. I have this shade. This is the Fenty contour stick in amber. I do like this one. Sometimes it can be a little bit too ashy. I find it's a great one for the winter. Then we also have the e.l.f. putty bronzer. This is literally like a little pot, and we'll dip our brush into it. And then what I'm gonna use today is the Maybelline lifter stick. This is a new product that I've recently bought that I really like, and this is also another drugstore, and it is this little shade 65. A lot of times, so the contour, what am I doing? Words are hard. The contour shape that we're doing is basically a big E. So we're gonna focus on the corners, and we're gonna come here and then come here, so it makes like an E. And then our nose. My nose, I typically am gonna draw it on, just like draw it how I will since I'm using a stick. If it's that little pot, you can get like a smaller brush and blend it out there. What I'm gonna do today, I'm using there's no name on here, but it's like an angle flat brush for the contour. What I'm gonna do, is get the stick, and I'm literally just gonna brush over the stick so I have a little bit of product. This would be a lot easier so we can build it up and we don't put too much, because we don't want to put too much on our face. So I'm gonna find my cheekbone kind of right here, and if you don't think you have a cheekbone, you have a cheekbone, and we're just gonna draw it on. So we're just gonna press the product in, and we're going up with it so we can elongate the face. And then we're gonna tuck a little here and then up here. This is when it starts to look crazy and you hear people say trust the process. You can always blend it out more if you want to blend it out more, but I would try to stay like within this region. I promise it's gonna all come together. I hope it all comes together. This side's looking a little bit better, but it's okay. And then I'm just gonna draw it. I have the stick, so I'm just gonna draw it on my nose. And then I like try to have a button nose, so I go right here to try to crease that. Depending on what kind of nose you have, and then like what look you're trying to do for your nose, depends on how you're gonna do that. Blend it out up and down. I'm using like the heightened edge of my brush. So we're also gonna go under for that E shape. I put it here where my jawline is and then kind of drag it out, and then we're just gonna blend the crap out of it, basically. I don't come in my chin, just on the jawline. Next is blush. Blush is gonna be scary. So I got this blush. I'll be honest, this blush is from Temu, okay? And it's more liquefied. It's not as pigmented, and I do really like it. I'm probably gonna use this today. I'll also, for more liquid blushes, because I do liquid for this step, I don't have the Rare Beauty blush. I do really want to try the Rare Beauty, but I have the e.l.f. camo blushes. I'm gonna use one actually so I can show you how it works. A little goes a long way with these things, okay? It's pigmented. So what I'm gonna do is get it, and you can kind of see that it's a little thicker than that other one. I'm gonna go to the back of my hand, and I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. And then with the other side of this brush, since it's dual side, I'm gonna use just like a big fluffier side, and I'm gonna kind of swoosh around the blush so I can get an even spot on my brush, kind of whoosh it around. And then we're gonna very lightly do little circles. We're gonna start on our little apples of our cheeks, and we're gonna drag it up with the motion of the contour. This looks intense, okay? It's gonna calm down, I promise. Blush, fun fact, is the first thing to go when you're doing your makeup and like throughout the day. So I promise it's gonna look a little bit tamer than this. This looks insane, okay? Just hold on. A little dot of concealer under our eyes again. Just like, boop, boop. And then we're kind of like pressing into that blush. So now it looks a little bit more blended under the eye. Makeup is also like, we're playing around, you know? We're just girls. We're having fun with this. So with our beauty blender, you're gonna have like some access foundation on the end. We're gonna go under our contour and kind of sculpt our face a little bit with that excess. We don't want to put more on, but we're just gonna brighten that up again a little bit. So now, powder. We're gonna get, I have my translucent powder. This is the Revlon translucent powder. There's a bunch of really fabulous ones that are more expensive at Sephora. There's the One Size pressed powder. There's the Laura Mercier. Those are both really great powders. This is a pretty good drugstore one. We're gonna get our little triangle. That's also well loved. We're setting the under eye. So I have in the little cap, the loose powder. And translucent is clear. There's no pigment in this. And we're gonna press down in there. Get the little angle, and we're gonna press under our eye and kind of drag it out. We're not blending this in yet, so like it's gonna look powdery. And I'm gonna go down my nose since I have my glasses. Same thing for the other side, and then same thing how we did with like under the contour. We're gonna do that as well. And then with the access I have, I'm just gonna pat under my chin and then pat in my top of my T-zone. And that's all the like face powder. So I have my big powder brush. I kind of just let this sit for a second, but I have my big powder brush, and we're gonna just like blend this out essentially. I drag it under my eye and we just disperse it, and then we're gonna drag it down our neck since we did blend down our neck. So then other side of this brush, I'm getting my bronzer. Sometimes I put on more blush, but I'm not gonna put on more blush since I use that e.l.f. and we're blushing. I get my bronzer. This is the Kylie Jenner bronzer in Tequila Tan. This has been I've had this for so freaking long. I want to say this is like high school, so like 6-7 years I've had this. We're just gonna dip it in. This does not need to be precise. You can kind of just go in with it. And same thing, we're gonna drag it up in that same like kind of L shape, and then put a touch here, touch there. And then I typically kind of just go over my nose a little bit. That's pretty much the face. And then we're gonna set with setting spray right now before we do anything else. Because it's the morning and I'm doing a lot of things today, I'm actually gonna use this Sun Shield setting spray. It's the Ulta Beauty brand. It does smell a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie, but it has the sunscreen in it, so I want to have the sunscreen in it for throughout the day. Now is brows. So a good everyday, if you already have like the hairs, my eyebrows, I call them 50% eyebrows because they have fullness and then they kind of spurs out and they're kind of blonde. The Super Fluff Maybelline is a great one. It is literally like a little wand and it has little bristles and you kind of just fill them out. Better one of that, I don't have it because I ran out, but the better one of that is the Benefit Gimme Brow. It's the same kind of thing, but it's smaller, so it's easier to manipulate. I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. On one end is the spoolie, so I'm just gonna brush out my eyebrows and kind of get them how I want them and not flat. We want to brush them up. The other end of that is the little pencil and it's very tiny. So I'm just slowly gonna fill these in. I don't have much tricks for this other than right here we're gonna go just straight up. You want to have like very light quick movements to resemble hairs, and then towards the middle of the brow we're kind of gonna go like sideways diagonal, and then we're slowly gonna go less and less diagonal until it's like a curve of the eyebrow. The longer you spin with this and the more like tiny little strokes you're doing, the better it's gonna look and more realistic. I don't have time, so I'm just doing one like that, and that's how it looks right now. I'm about to do the other. Okay, these are my eyebrows done. I want to remind you at this point, I am not a makeup artist. I am still learning. These eyebrows are not the best eyebrows you're ever gonna see, but they're done. They're better than having blonde hairs. So I use next the Anastasia brow gel. It's literally just like the clear brow gel, and we're just gonna go over these to really lock them in. So it literally just looks like a little spoolie, and we're gonna go up and then diagonal and then down. So we got big bushy brows, you know, we're faking it until we make it with these brows. Next we're gonna do eyeshadow. I'm gonna show you a very basic eyeshadow routine that I kind of do. Some great palettes is the Naked Urban Decay Basics. This is a lot of cool toned eyeshadow, so if you have like hazel eyes, this would be perfect for that. A lot of cool tones, it's a great palette. Another cute little palette I have is the Violet Voss palette. It is just a small little 6-shade palette. Any really neutral palette you have is gonna be great. A little lesson about the color wheel. With the color wheel with your eyes. So my eyes are blue, so with the color wheel, the opposite end helps bring out whatever eye color you have. So for mine, I have blue eyes, so brown eyeshadows and very warm eyeshadows help bring out the blueness in my eyes, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you 3-step eyeshadow. I have a few brushes in front of me. One is a really big eyeshadow fluffy brush. One of the things I have that I really like is this Color Swap tin from Ulta. It's literally like a little styrofoam block thing. This is how I switch shades. You literally just like act like you're coloring it and it knocks the previous eyeshadow that you were using off. The 3-step eyeshadow routine is you're gonna use on your whole eye, like we're gonna cover it all up here and we're gonna cover it kind of on our lid too. You're gonna use a very light shade. You're gonna use whatever the lightest shade of the palette that you're using. And then with the slightly darker shade, we're gonna go in with just the crease and then like half of this just to create that eye shape. And then the darkest color, we're only gonna pop in that corner and kind of drag under our eye. That middle shade, we're gonna also drag under our eye to kind of blend everything in. So I'm gonna show you. So we're gonna use this little palette that I showed you. We're gonna dip into that lightest shade Silk. So we're gonna tap tap and then get rid of any excess, and then we're just gonna very lightly, you don't want to like go in, like you should not be jabbing your eye out, and it's kind of like I said, more up and then we can drag it onto the lid. Especially if you have hooded eyes, you want to make sure you go almost up to the brow completely, because if you have hooded eyes and have slightly hooded eyes, you're not gonna be able to see a lot of it. So you want to make sure you're dragging it like all the way up here. So for that next shade, we're gonna get slightly angled blending brush. Same thing, we're gonna go in and make sure previous color, whatever I was using, is off of it. And you also clean your brushes between makeups looks. That'll also be good. And we're gonna go in with this right here. We're just gonna tap and then tap. And you can do very little because we can build eyeshadow up. We don't want to go like too heavy and then have a hard time blending it out. So really, especially if you have hooded eyes, I like to open my eye kind of halfway and really like pop that into the crease of my natural eye. And I'm just gonna blend it a little. You wanna do like half of your eye. Our smallest baby blending brush, we're gonna dip into that darkest color, very extremely light, and we're just gonna pop that in the corner. Very light. Like that's pretty much it. So the other end of this brush is a flat brush. We're gonna go in with that same thing and we're gonna blend out what we put. I'll kind of make sure it goes in the crease, and then we're gonna go under our eye, just like right here, just to where it looks more connected, not like so bare. And that's literally it for the eye. So my eyes are popping and the center is brighter. So that's like a super easy, do that with like most little palettes. Now, mascara, we're gonna curl our lashes. I'm pretty lucky to have like naturally long eyelashes. Hopefully it stays that way for a long time. But I have to curl mine. I find a lot of people put on eyelashes and a lot of people put on eyelashes every day. I'm glad I don't put on eyelashes every day because I really don't want to do that. My current favorite mascara is this Panorama mascara from L'Oreal. It's the one I've been using every day. I really like it. I really love, I don't have it because I ran out. I really love the Rare Beauty mascara. That one's definitely one of my favorites. I just purely ran out of it. I really like that one for the summer because the sweat doesn't bother it with like how some mascaras do. So I put this actually just kidding. I'm gonna set my face again real quick with a sunscreen before we put on mascara. Now we're gonna put on mascara. And I'm just doing the top eyelashes. I definitely go like really close to the root of the eyelash and then drag it up, and I'll shimmy it a little to where that root really has that fullness since we're not doing any kind of eyeliner. So then me personally, my eyes can just water a lot sometimes. For the bottom lashes, I put on a waterproof mascara, and this is a very fine one. And I just put that on the bottom ones. For lips, we obviously need some kind of lip. I'm gonna get a tissue and kind of wipe off my lips first because they look crazy. So since I am going to work and I'm not going anywhere crazy, I'm literally just gonna do like a lip liner and then a cute gloss that I like. I'm gonna use this, I might not use it, but this Kylie Jenner, this was in a Christmas kit that I got, and it's 808 Kylie shade. It's kind of like a brown shade. We're just putting a little just to give us a little bit of color. And then I'm just gonna put one of my favorite lip glosses, the Burt's Bees Lip Shine. If you are someone that likes to overline your lips, stay, this little tip, stay like on your lip line in the inside corners. And then where you want to overline it is like right in the middle, and then go back up. And then same thing with the top. You want to do just the top and then go back. So for taking off mascara, the easiest thing to do, let it fully dry. That sounds psycho, but let it fully dry. Then you're gonna wet a Q-tip and like make sure it's not like dripping water. And then we're just gonna lightly run that over the spot we got mascara. So this is my completed kind of basic glam. I hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know if we like the makeup videos. If we don't like them, if you have tips for me, I am open ears for any tips you might have. I appreciate you staying with me. I've said a few times, I am not a makeup artist and I'm fully aware of that. So it's really okay if I'm not perfect at something, and that's okay. And I'm still learning, but I thought I'd show some people because I've had some people kind of ask me for like a good basic makeup routine. So I'm gonna get food and go to work. I'm definitely gonna get an energy drink because I did go to the gym this morning already and I'm tired. Thank you so much for staying with me. Make sure to wipe off your hand when you're not doing your makeup. I appreciate you and have a great blessed day.